a nice neck.
Just strum and ignore me, and I just get some little cutaways to use.
Flats, of course.
Well, I have to say, a guy who was actually as big as the Beatles, a guy called Lonnie Donegan, and he used to run a band, what was termed as a skiffle group,
Right.
and he had a lot of hits, Rock Island Line, Bring a Little Water, Sylvie. They're all derived from the old blues stuff, but nobody knew that because personally as a child, I'd never heard that sort of, Woody Guthrie stuff. So Lonnie Donegan was my sort of idol. And it influenced me, especially in my rhythm guitar playing, but also they had a double bass in the band.
Okay.
Which basically, because this stuff was mainly like 3 chords, the bass would go boom, 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 boom. That's all it was, boom, boom, boom. And that stayed with me. It still stays with me a bit. And actually, if you listen to, I was on a Herman's Hermits record, and you can hear me right at the front, and I come in on that dum, dum, da, bum, 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 bum. So there's your answer to the question.
Was that when you were doing session work on?
In the late 60s, yeah, I was doing a lot of session work, yeah.
So did you come from a family of musicians, or?
My dad was he played the piano, but not professionally, no.
Yeah, okay.
But I have 3 sisters who sing as well, but they weren't, I was just lucky to get into
So
the music.
you caught the bug from Lonnie Donegan. When did you start starting playing physical instruments? What was your first instrument?
My grandmother bought me, well actually I was singing first. I used to sing at school, and going to a Church of England school where you sang hymns every morning. They would say to the kids, do you want to sing hymns, or do you want to listen to John Ford sing Rock Around the Clock? They go, we want Rock Around the Clock. And but my grandmother bought me a ukulele, and I didn't really know, obviously it had 4 strings, but I just used to follow the first string up with whatever song I was singing.
Okay, the E string.
Yeah, whatever that was. And then I got this Elvis Presley plastic guitar, which had an auto chord thing. You press buttons.
Oh, they
And
had those.
yeah, it was a plastic thing. And then I took that off, and I figured out how to. So by the time I got a guitar book, which was when I was around 8 or 9, I knew quite a few chords.
Okay.
Yeah, so then I was into 6
right.
strings.
So that you had. When did you now, as a multi-instrumentalist, you play so many different instruments. Your approach to the bass is probably a little bit different than a guy who just plays the bass.
Yes, because I think it helps if you know chords.
Yeah.
Then you get a good idea of what the bass is supposed to do within the musical framework, And so I think the guy, as with a lot of bass players, the bass player left in the band.
Yes.
And I'm talking about when I was like 14 or 15. And so my father went out and bought me the original Hofner Beatle bass, because we had to have one of those.
Yeah, right,
Because the Beatles were. And I had I think I had a Selmer tube sort of bass amp. Unfortunately, that was stolen. But that it was I used it, but it was stolen after all. And but that sort of gave me my groundwork for, and also they were easy to play. Those.
Were they? Yeah.
Yeah. When I pick up one now, I think this feels like a guitar, because I like a bit of weight in a bass myself. But yeah, that started me off in that area.
So then you applied that knowledge to the bass, and obviously, so you had a bit of a different, more of a melodic style, I would say.
Other than the Lonnie Donegan double bass,
Boom, boom, boom.
my biggest influence around that time was Paul McCartney, because as soon as I heard "With a Little Help from My Friends," and that popping, I think he was using a Rickenbacker
At
there,
that time.
and the way that bass pops out, and he's playing he's not really playing down the bottom end, he's playing over the 12th fret, where that seems to pop out, and I still use that now. If you want to do like a sort of little frill, you go up there, and it gives you sort of a middle sort of frequency range there. And so when I heard dum, boom, dum, dum, with Little Help, I thought, and that was a big